I'm Dr. Rita McGuire, the Chief Medical Officer, one of the co-founders here at Wakana. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist, so this is my little call room that I'm in, waiting for a couple of ladies to deliver. But I'm excited to join the call on Mondays now because I'm a trichology instructor. I just graduated in November from the National Trichology Training Institute in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm excited to really pour into knowledge that I have from the medical side and combining it with the trichology information and collaborating with Doris Mosley, our VP of our hair division here at Wakana. So I'll introduce her. She is a trichologist, but she is our new VP of the hair division here at Wakana. So put in the chat, congratulate her for her title here. And I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes on a topic, and I know that Doris has a topic for us as well. But because I see so much COVID, I thought I'd just shed some light on COVID hair. And you know what, Doris? The title was COVID hair loss, but I switched it to COVID hair shedding because it's really more shedding that we're seeing as a result to the COVID infection and what's going on with COVID than hair loss. So I renamed it COVID hair shedding and how CBD can assist. So again, I'm Dr. Rita McGuire, Chief Medical Officer and co-founder here at Wakana. I won't take a lot of time up at all so that you can see our amazing VP of Hair Division, Doris Mosley. So you're here. Wakana is the name of our company. I want to welcome all of our guests. I want to welcome all of our business partners. And we are the crown jewel of CBD. It's co-founded by 3 other amazing, incredible African-American women. Those are my partners. Dr. Patricia Van Pelt is our president. Melissa Boston is our CEO, the vision behind Wakana. The CSO, the Chief Sales Officer, is Phyllis Nash, and she is coined our midwife because she bursts all of the possibilities that we all have inside of us as it relates to our independent business. Our company really has been quite strategic during this global pandemic. We've had to pivot, we've had to do some pretty innovative and creative things when it comes to the industry during a global pandemic. So yes, we have CBD products that address weight loss, overall wellness, immune, skin care, and of course, while you're here, why you are here, which is hair care. We know that's $1 billion industry, so we have products to address that. So a little stats on hair shedding during COVID. More than 20% of people hospitalized with COVID lose their hair in 3 to 6 months after being discharged from the hospital. I see it all the time, and I see it at a greater level. Why? Because I'm an OB-GYN practicing in the inner city where many of my moms, 90% of them are COVID positive. Yes, they come in, have the COVID infection. Many times they're teenagers, so they don't eat well, so they're anemic, right? And then they love putting all this glue and these fake little baby hairs and braids and all sorts of things they're doing to their hair. So they have one insult after another, right? They're not eating well, they're not drinking water, they're not, they have COVID infection, and on top of all of that, they're putting hairstyles and using hairstyles that are not productive or very effective for healthy hair. So one of the things that COVID typically you find in COVID infection is fever. And if you don't know, you're going to hear more about this from Doris's teachings every week. But fever is a common symptom of COVID, and fever is one of the reasons that we see a lot of hair shedding. any insult of stress, of trauma, infection, fever. In addition to fever, COVID is an inflammatory response on steroids, meaning that the inflammatory response that happens when you get COVID infection does affect the hair follicle. So it's called telogen effluvium. It's a temporary sort of hair loss, hair shedding. It happens when there's trauma, when there's childbirth, when our patients even have a baby, malnutrition, and they're not eating well. Excessive weight loss. I noticed 7 years ago when I lost 67 pounds in 6 months, my hair was shedding. It started thinning at the edges. It was such a abrupt insult to the body. Severe infections, major surgery, any extreme stress to the body, emotional stress to the body can cause a lot of hair that's in the resting stage, the telogen phase, to shed more. But the great thing about telogen effluvium is that the hair does grow back, right? And so we see a lot of this during COVID. I have a lot of friends that shedded a lot of hair. They all had COVID infections, but 3 to 6 months, it started growing back. Another thing that we see is trichomania, which is a really nervous condition. You'll see people pulling at their hair, twisting their hair, tugging at their hair. That's from stress, that's from tension, that's from anxiety. Some people are bored, some people are frustrated, and they are truly causing a lot of loss, thinning to their hair. And alopecia areata that you're going to hear more about many times, that's an autoimmune response, but it can be started or a response from COVID. You know, COVID as an infection has caused the immune system to start attacking itself. So to the rescue, you're going to hear all about this today, is Wakana's Save Our Strand Hair Care System. And we know that using CBD, using cannabidiol from the cannabis plant, but using the hemp species of CBD is a healthy way of addressing inflammation, bacterial infection, and the hair follicle does love CBD because the skin loves CBD. The skin is the largest organ on our body, and we truly have to take care of the scalp, which is the skin on our head, so that the environment of the hair follicle can grow. So yes, CBD comes from marijuana. It also comes from hemp, but today we're going to talk about CBD that's sourced from the hemp plant that has a legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less. So nothing that we're talking about here is going to get you high. It's going to give you a paranoia or a euphoria or even the munchies. So CBD, cannabidiol, is one of the main components in the hemp plant. It's the #1 cannabinoid. It has a long list of things that it does, but let's concentrate on what we're talking about today, and that's the hair, the follicle, the scalp, right? Doris is going to be talking about a disorder of the scalp, but we want to know, or I want you to know, that CBD has a lot of benefits. And the benefits that it has to the scalp is it's antibacterial, right? It's also anti-inflammatory. And it's also vasorelaxant, meaning that the blood vessels are able to, with CBD, they're able to dilate so blood flow, right, can nourish that follicle. I speak about the hair follicle just like I speak about a pregnancy. The follicle has a womb just like the baby grows in the mom's womb. If the mom doesn't take prenatal vitamins, if the mom doesn't eat well, if the mom doesn't drink her water, the baby becomes failure to thrive. The baby is small, there's complications, right? Same thing happens with the hair follicle. If you don't feed and nourish this hair follicle with vitamins and water and nutrition and CBD, it does not thrive. So CBD scientifically works in the body. So it's not a snake oil, it's not a magical potion, right? It is science behind how it works. And the science is called the endocannabinoid system. This is a system that regulates almost every physiological system in our body. from our blood pressure to our pulse rate, to our appetite, to our sleep, to our hair growth. Yes, our hair growth as well. These receptors that are found in the endocannabinoid system, we all possess, are CB1 and CB2. When you consume CBD, they bind to these receptors and then they send a signal to different areas in the body to put the body in balance. So yeah, the skin, the largest organ in our body, has CB2 receptors, as you can see here. So when we consume CBD, it does put the skin back in balance. That could mean acne, eczema, psoriasis, dandruff, hair loss, hair shedding, whatever is attacking the skin, CBD can put that back in balance. And the science shows it. In fact, there are lots of articles that show how when you consume CBD, these receptors that are found in the skin, we see the hair follicle here, all of these receptors, when they bind, when we consume CBD, has a very efficient and potential good outcome for our hair follicle. So that's all I wanted to share today, was a little bit about COVID, a little bit about CBD, how it works in the body, and why it is so important when we talk about the skin, we talk about the scalp, we talk about the hair follicle, and we talk about the nourishment that it needs. So I'm going to bring up Doris Mosley. Doris Mosley is an icon in the hair industry.
I am back too.
Oh, great, Kathy. She is a trichologist. She is our VP of our hair division here at Wakana. I met Doris about 4.5 years ago with another company, and I told one of my friends, I said, whenever your beauty school has a trichology school, I want in, because everything that Doris talks about and she teaches on, I was intrigued. I didn't even learn this in medical school. I'm like, I want in. So that's what happened. There was an opening in the trichology school with Dudley here in Chicago and National Trichology Training Institute in Atlanta. And I got it done with the support of this amazing, incredible woman, Doris Mosley. You can take it away.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rita. I am just so excited today because you came aboard, and I just wish I could go become a gynecologist.
See? Right.
It's a little late for that, but I am so glad to be a trichologist and to be a part of Wakana. It is just exciting. I'm excited, and thank you so much for the opportunity. But today I'm going to talk about, well, first of all, we have our hemp-powered hair. That's our baby for the hair care system. And the hemp-powered hair have so many certified oils that it's just amazing. And the one thing I'm going to share with you all today is about dandruff, the myth about dandruff. But just to tell you a little bit about hemp-powered hair, it's an oil that has, the first oil I always like to talk about is black seed oil. And it helps with the itchy scalp. And that's where dandruff usually takes over, when you got the itchy scalp. Dandruff is it's a common condition that causes flaky skin on the scalp. Now, and let's clear it up. It is not contagious. Dandruff is not contagious. It's just that you have a scalp that accelerates in shedding. And if it's left on, of course, it can clog the pores. But we have the black seed oil in our hemp-powered hair. We also have another oil, and that's the lemon oil. The lemon oil helps get rid of the itchiness. Not only just it cleanses the scalp, and that's what we have to do. We have to make sure we cleanse the scalp, because we don't want that to go down into the hair follicles. As Dr. Rita was saying, it is where it is birthed. So you got to, when you start with the itchy scalp, you're going to stretch, you're going to be digging in, and most of the time we don't even think about what we're stretching the scalp with. And that is what causes the problems. The itchy scalp and the way we stretch the scalp and stimulate the scalp can cause injuries to the scalp, which also can cause injury to our hair follicle. And that's where the damage comes in. Now, if you damage the follicle, it can slow down the production of your hair strands, or you can continue to do it and it can actually kill the follicle, and then there's no more hair there. Dandruff also causes irritation and inflammation. And I love when Dr. Rita talk about inflammation, because that is the one thing that will definitely eventually destroy is inflammation. And we want to make sure that we don't have the inflammation build up there. And in our renewing shampoo that we have, which is amazing. And I use that shampoo in the salon, especially on my clients who are having issues with hair loss. And what happens is it's very easy to use. It's not a shampoo that you can't hardly get the lather there, the suds there. And it also cleanses the hair so good, and it's bring moisture. And one of the reasons that we have in one of the ingredients that we have in our renewing shampoo is our rosemary leaf oil, which helps relieve itchy scalp, improve cellular generation, help deep cleanse the cuticle layer, and get rid of product buildup. Now that is so important. Remember, it deep cleanse. Deep cleansing is very important because we want to make sure, as Dr. Rita said, the skin is the largest organ of elimination. So we want to make sure that we keep it cleansed so the impurities or the toxin that's in can get out. We also have the lemon peel oil. It's a natural oil for the hair. It cleanses the scalp. Once again, when Wakana was getting this SOS system together, they made sure that it was focused on hair restoration and hair loss. And mainly we want to have hair restoration. It cleanses the scalp. It's ideal for oily scalp. The scalp remains healthy with shine. And that's what we want. And the one thing about dandruff, you have two types. You have seborrhea sicca, which is the dryness. And then we have seborrhea oleosis, which is the oily dandruff. And we want to make sure, and that's what our renewing shampoo, it does. It gives moisture to the hair, as well as it also gives moisture, and it hydrates, which is a part of moisture, and it also deep cleans. Now, when it comes to dandruff, a lot of people say, oh, don't use my comb. Well, we shouldn't use each other's comb, but if we did, we won't get dandruff from that person. It is not contagious. But what is highly contagious is ringworms. That is highly contagious, and it can be passed on. Now, in my career, I've had one person that came in with ringworms. Guess what I had to do? I really destroyed everything that I had touched on her because I didn't want to pass that on to another client. That is highly contagious, and we do not want that. Also, sometimes you can have, when it's oily, it means that your natural sebum is producing more than you would like for it to, because the sebaceous gland, remember, is attached to every hair strand, and that's what creates the oil. But that's why we want to make sure that the pores on the scalp stay clean and deep cleansing. And we talk about, and we've shown you guys scalp facials. We've had scalp facials on here where I had live, and I'm going to do it again because I want to show you how to deep cleanse the pores. And that you should get a scalp facial maybe at least once a month. Deep cleanse those pores because you're using the SOS system, and that's going to give you what you need on the daily. Very important. Then we have our moisturizing conditioner. Now remember, I always say when you shampoo the hair, you want to make sure you towel dry the hair really good before you put your conditioner on, because you don't want to dilute your conditioner. You want to make sure you get full strength. And the moisturizing conditioner that's in the SOS system, I'm going to just share with you one of the certified oils that is in there. And that is organic lavender flower water. It's an anti-inflammatory. Eliminate itchy scalps and dandruff. Help keep the production of sebum under control. Now, It is anti-inflammatory. We gotta clean up, we gotta heal up, we gotta get rid of inflammation because nothing really is gonna take place in a healthy way until we get rid of that. So that's why it is important that everybody is using the SOS system. It's the greatest system out there. So why not give it a try? And it's not an overnight success. Whatever you have going is not going to be cleaned up overnight. And there's no guarantee. But I can tell you, I'm a product of the product. And all you have to do is be patient and use it. It's very, very important. And once again, we don't have anything for ringworms. So that's contagious. We don't deal with that. That's highly contagious. And usually that's in young kids anyway, in elementary schools. But in African American textures, usually we use enough heat on the hair. And when you're using heat, that's usually kill that. But we don't want to touch that, okay? Now, some people ask the question, will the dandruff cause my acne to flare up? Well, it could, because if it falls on your face, that's why you should shampoo your hair at least if you're dealing with overactive skin cells, which is, again, is dandruff. You can shampoo your hair at least once a week. I know with our styling, it's a little difficult. We can't shampoo every day unless we're wearing natural hair. But if not, at least once a week, and you may have to do a scalp facial twice a month instead of once a month because you want to keep your pores unclogged. We also have in our system our detangling conditioner. Now that is an awesome conditioner, and I love that because when I have a client who has a stationary hairstyle, that means you've had it in there for a while. It's sometimes the hair that would have gone off because we shed anywhere from 50 to 100 strands a day. But if there's a stationary hairstyle, that means that that hair that shedded every day did not get out. So if it did not get out, what happened to it? It got entwined in the hair that's on your head. So that means when you take it down, it is there. You have to comb that hair out before you wet the hair. So what you do from the ends, you spray your detangling conditioner on, and it loosens up from the ends of the hair to the scalp. A lot of people say, I'm going to comb it to my roots. You can't get to the root. The root is beneath the scalp. The shaft is above the scalp. So you're going to comb the shaft from the ends to the scalp, and you're going to get all that hair that has been in there since you put your stationary style up, because from 50 to 100 strands a day, you are absolutely losing, and it's not getting out. So the great thing about the detangling condition, it soften it up and you can get it right out. And one of the oils that it has is organic jojoba seed oil. It moisturizes, and we hear the moisture because hair is made of two things, moisture and protein. It's rich in vitamins and minerals that nourish hair, including vitamin C, B, E, copper, and zinc. Prevents hair loss and promotes hair thickness. Prevents hair loss. Now, I heard Dr. Rita talk about the COVID people who are experiencing shedding. I had a niece in the salon on Saturday, and she said that she lost a lot of her hair. She was COVID. Now, it's not that she won't get it back. She shedded more than normal. She was in the telogen and fluvian stage where she shedded a lot of hair, but she'll get it back because she didn't lose her follicle and all of that. But you have to, and another thing, I don't know what your blood type is, but you should find out what your blood type is. And if you're eating according to your blood type, then I'm sure you're going to be your body's going to be much more healthy. But in our hemp powered hair, we have moringa. Moringa is an oil that deals with healthy body. CBD, Dr. Rita talked about, it is what we need. It's what our body needs. It's looking for CBD. So we have it in our product. We have it in the hemp powered hair. We have it in our SOS system. It's amazing. And then we have the styling cream, which is one of my daughter's favorite products. She loved the styling cream because It's in a little small jar. You've seen the product, and you're probably saying, how in the world that I'm going to get what I need out of that little jar over a period of time? But let me tell you, that little jar is very powerful. You only need a very little bit of it. But it depends on how much hair you have, the thickness of the hair, and the density of the hair, that is. You only need a little, but you're going to make sure, again, that you towel dry that hair really good and bring forth a little bit. You only need a little, rub it in your hand, and it emulsifies, and then you put it through the hair. You can set the hair, or you can blow dry the hair at that point. And it almost texturize it if that's what you're doing, putting heat on. But you want to make sure that you are using the product like it was just formulated to use. And the styling cream, it has organic shea butter. Again, it's an anti-inflammatory properties. It provides healing effect without clogging the pores. You don't want to use products that's going to clog the pores. And a lot of times we disguise products that's not properly rinsed out of the hair and is left on the scalp. We say, oh, I got dandruff, but it's not really that. It's improper rinsing of your product. So you want to make sure you rinse every shampoo like it's your last. And when you rinse the conditioner out, you make sure you go into that scalp area and rinse thoroughly. And that way you have everything off the scalp, so the scalp is not continuously getting clogged. Then we have our oud oil. Oh my goodness, oud oil was really first formulated for the skin. So I said, hey, the hair on the scalp, the skin on the scalp is skin. The hair, we need a buffer from the heat. And I was like, this is perfect. We can use the oud oil for thermal texturizer. Beautiful. And for people who wet set, add the oud oil to your setting lotion or your foam or whatever, or even if you're wearing natural hair, like I'm wearing. I put the oud oil in, and then I put my styling foam on to get the look that I have. And I am so excited because it gives me a lot of shine, it gives me a lot of moisture, and I don't have to worry about dry hair. Because one thing, if you're not hydrating properly, see the hair, once it gets above the shaft, the hair is considered dead. So we got to do everything we can do to make sure it looks alive. And what we put in our body is what comes out. So that's very important. So dandruff, again, is not contagious. So don't think, oh my goodness, I use your comb. You didn't do that. No, it's not contagious. But we don't want to share tools unless they are sterilized. And in the salon, we are supposed to. All of the stylists out there know that. You do not use the same tools on the next person and the next person. We have to sterilize properly so we don't pass any type of germ, and especially now with COVID being there, because being vaccinated, you guys, is for you. It will not protect me because you could still be positive with vaccination. So know that, use your product, get your system. Your hemp powered hair is used directly on the scalp, massaged in, and I always say massage in an upward motion because you bring in blood to the surface. And in our hemp powered hair, we have peppermint oil. Peppermint oil is one of those stimulating oils to help increase blood circulation. And blood is the one thing for sure that nourishes that follicle. And then we want to make sure we put it on our tongue at least 3 times a week. You want to drop at least 5 drops under the tongue 3 times a week, 2 times a day, and leave it under there for about a minute before you swallow. Those are the things that's going to get you to where you want to be as far as your hair is concerned. You want to always remember the key is alopecia is the medical term for baldness. You do not want to experience none of those 3. Alopecia areata, which is patches, alopecia totalis, which is no hair on the head, and sometimes the eyebrows and lashes are affected, and alopecia totalis, universalis, which there's no hair nowhere over the body. We want to hold on to our follicles. We're going to treat them with love. We're going to fall back in love with our hair, and let's save our strands. Back to you, Catherine, and Dr. Rita, if she's still with us.
Fantastic. Wow. You know what? I never ever thought about using oud oil on my hair. I love that.
Absolutely gorgeous. It is amazing. The
So
oil.
can I ask you a question? When our hair is really itchy and we go and get it shampooed by our stylist, I heard that they should not be using their nails. Is
No,
that true? Because it feels so good with those nails in there.
but you know what they have? I have a couple of shampoo brushes that have those prongs that are rubber. It feels so good. You
Okay.
should not use your nails only because remember the follicle lies anywhere from 0.3 centimeter down below the epidermis. So if you're scratching and you're creating injury to the scalp, you could easily be creating injury to your follicle. You may not kill it totally, but you may cause some sickness to it, and it'll slow down hair reproduction, or it can end up killing the follicle and there's no hair. Once you have follicle hysterectomy, that ends that strand. So please do the ball of your fingertips. That's how you shampoo, with the balls of your fingertip, not with your nails.
Got it. So are there any questions in the audience? And I'd like to know, Doris and Kathy, how many stylists are out there? If you're a stylist, can you put it in the chat? If you're a stylist and you're a guest
I
on the,
know there are some that are expected. So yeah, if you're a stylist out here, we definitely want to have you get shouted out. You know, Doris created the beauty bar that is a once a month opportunity for stylists that are using Wakana products to showcase their business and their special way of using Wakana products.
I love that. Oh,
Yes, Lily Frierson is a world-renowned stylist, actually.
fantastic.
Someone just said how the oud oil make their clients feel. I couldn't read it, Kathy. Maybe you could see it.
Our,
It's very relaxing for
Yes.
my clients. I agree with that. Yeah, that's something that I use out of the shower. I use it in my hair. It's in my spray bottle. It's something I put on my hair before I go to bed. So yeah, spray it in.
wonderful. So Lily and Charlotte, Kathy and Doris, they are stylists on the line.
Yes.
And do you have any questions, Charlotte or Lily, for Doris? And how can we move you forward if you're not already a customer or a distributor? We would love to move you to the next step. Just
I
let us
know
know in the
Lily.
chat.
Lily is on Doris's team.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome to Wakana.
And she uses it. Yes, actually, it was Lily's idea to start using that oud oil in
Oh,
her clients' treatments, and
Mhm.
she got great results and mentioned it to Doris.
I love that, Lily. Thank you so much. And we have Alexia who is driving. Um, she is driving. She's a stylist.
Please be careful.
Yes, fears that she cannot speak. How about Charlotte from Detroit? Charlotte from Detroit, you have a question you'd like to ask?
Is Midland out there from Florida? I don't know. Midland?
I didn't see Midland today, but let me check again here. Let's see here.
I just know that eventually, Dr. Rita and Kathy, the word is going to get around and Wakana will be a salon household name.
I love that. It will.
But because of the results that we're getting, we're gonna just have to come on board eventually. And sometimes it takes longer
Absolutely.
than others. And I always say, if you're using hemp powered hair, but the fact that you may be thinning in the top area, you may not have already been diagnosed, or you may end up being diagnosed with CCA. You want to it can be slowed down. You don't have to go all the way to alopecia. You can slow that process down.
Just tell me what it is again. Central?
Central, it starts in the top. That
Yeah.
means in the center. Centrifugal, meaning spread it
Centrifugal.
out.
Spreads out.
Cicatricial, meaning scar. Yeah, it's scar tissue. And the A is alopecia.
Well,
And
yeah.
most
I got the C and the A.
well, most of the time it starts on people who maybe past 40, 50, if it's going to happen. And it can be slowed down. I had it. So it can be stopped.
I remember, yeah.
It can be stopped.
Oh.
But the ingredients in hemp-powered hair was responsible for it coming back.
I love
patience, with patience.
And your continued consistent use of it.
Yes.
Because what do you always say, Doris?
Hey, it's really not a overnight. And I say so much, you got to say what I said.
Right.
No, I'm talking about the product. You always say it's a great product.
But
it cannot do anything for you. You looking at it on the shelf. You must crack the seal and use it.
That's right.
That's good, Kathy. But I have it. But where is it?
Right. No, it doesn't. No, how about this one? This is always a great one. It doesn't work. Well, what were your results? Oh, I haven't used it yet.
Yeah. Or they'll say, you know what? I don't want to use that oil on my hair. It'll make my hair oily. And I say to them, would you like oily hair or no hair?
Oh,
a little oily hair for a minute.
That's good.
I know I'm going to have my hair back.
And a couple of drops can't possibly make it.
No, it does not.
It probably is. It's going to drink that in anyway.
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
So, we've heard, Dr. Rita and Kathy, we've heard probably all the excuses. I'm in this business 48 years. You know, I've heard, seen, and felt a lot. So I always just say, and strong hairline. You want a strong hairline.
Yes. Most
people are losing their hairlines due to traction alopecia, improper hair augmentation application.
You got me doing this all the time, girl. You got me doing this all the time.
Right. Take your finger, place it at the top of your eyebrow, your little finger, close all of them down, and where your pointing finger land is where your hairline should be.
Oh, gosh.
Place your little finger right here.
It's far away.
And close it down. Yes, that is where your hairline should land. If your hairline is not landing on that pointing finger, you need hemp-powered hair, quick. Hemp-powered hair oil, because you need to start dropping and massaging. If the follicle is still there, and you say, how do I know my follicle is still there? There's little bulbs, there's little fuzz. That vellus hair, see, not that baby hair. That baby hair was called lanugo, and it's gone. So,
oh my gosh, we talked about baby hair last week, didn't we?
Yes.
People who are really baby hair specialists. And Dr. Rita, have you seen the baby hair tattoo, honey?
Girl, you can get the baby hair tattoo.
I heard
about tattoo, baby hair tattoo on your hair.
Somebody called me.
You know,
I got a call this morning about baby hair tattoo. I was like, there's 3 types of hair. There's vellus. No, let's start with lanugo, vellus, and terminal.
Yep.
Vellus hair is what is starting to happen when it starts to revert back. It's going away. Lanugo is when you're born. That hair leaves after 3 months, maybe, off your body. And terminal hair is what we have right now. So baby hair, you guys creating just a whole nother, oh my God.
Well, it seems like it'd be more trauma if I'm taking something to smooth down this grown A hair I got right here to make it lay down like a baby. I mean, this 57-year-old hair right here. So yeah, I'm trying to lay it down like baby hair. And
be careful. Because of all the things that we're using on our hair today, it's causing a lot of trauma.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
And you know, alopecia, traction alopecia is real.
Yeah. We are cracking Charlotte up. Monica said they need to stop.
I think some of these young girls had more lanugo hair than they have now.
Rita,
no, they got
you're OBGYN. When those babies are born with that hair on their body, that's lanugo. and
Yeah.
it sheds after 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
It's gone.
That's right, right.
Go
I
here
forgot.
and
You
now.
see it
They
when
got Dr. Rita, they got more bizarro hairs what they got
Right.
going on.
So we got to help them. We got to really help them. This has been really,
Amen.
really, this has been really great. Um,
Charlotte says no questions. I love the product line. Absolutely, and that those are bangs.
yeah.
hey,
In London, they call it fringe.
oh, do they?
Wow. You mean they call baby hair the baby hair phenomena fringe?
Bangs,
You-
no bangs.
They
No, we
call
say
bangs
bangs, they
fringe.
say fringe.
I got you. Okay, awesome. And it kind of looks like that too, I guess so. That's right.
Beautiful.
Well, I think this is an awesome addition. Dr. Rita, you're bringing the medical side that we need to validate and to really show how healthy hair is a part of your whole overall health and how medical conditions can affect your hair. Doris, as a trichologist with over 48 years, has often talked about things that relate to diet and stress and environment and things of that nature. So you bringing that medical expertise to the 48 years of experience in the hair industry to Doris, I think this is a power packed team of professionals. So I just thank you, Dr. Rita, for
Oh,
making
it's a
this
pleasure.
available.
I said to someone the other day, no, it was the students because I started teaching last month. I said, how many times do we think about when we put something in our mouth, how it's going to affect our hair? When we put something in our mouth, what do we think about? Oh, this is going to make me gain weight or, but we never think about how is this going to affect our hair? At least I don't think about that.
Right.
And your diet absolutely affects the health of your hair. So that's why I love how Doris brought in where, finding out what your blood type is, eating by your blood type, reducing inflammation, embracing an anti-inflammatory diet, a plant-based diet, that affects your hair. So don't forget about the hair.
Dr. Rita, a question was asked of me, and they asked me, did dandruff cause you to have gray hair? I mean, yeah, gray hair. That dandruff does not cause you to have gray hair. What it is, you have melanin in the cells that is being processed while the follicle is housing and nurturing that strand. And the more melanin you have in in those cells, the darker your hair will be. The less melanin is the lighter your hair will be. And as you get older, you start to lose that. And that's when the hair gray. And you can also gray from stress.
Yeah.
Stress can speed that up, but not dandruff. Dandruff is simply just overactive cells that is manufacturing faster than you can get it off the scalp. Know that, but it's not contagious. Ringworms, on the other hand, highly contagious. So remember that, you guys.
So you have a question from Monica. So why is gray hair such a beast?
Oh,
I hear you, Monica. Why is it so hard to color? Is that
my
what you're
mama
saying?
used to say, keep having birthdays. But let me tell you how you can color gray hair. Gray hair is colored. You take the formula. Just say I'm gonna just throw a number out. Just say if you was doing color number 6, and you had to put your peroxide with it. First, put number 6 on the hair without the peroxide. That's creating more pigments. Then you go back and you put your formula together. Whatever formula you're going to use, you may use 6 and 3, I don't know. But whatever you're going to use, don't put the peroxide with it first. Go and put it on the gray. Then go back and mix that same formula with peroxide. Now you got double pigments that's going in there. And it works every time. And I learned that at a seminar I was at, sitting next to a Caucasian lady.
Wow.
And I've been using it ever since, you guys. That is the $1 million tip today from Wakana. Make sure that you use your moisturizing conditioner and your renewing shampoo afterwards. And don't use water so hot when you're doing color, first of all. And don't use water so hot when you're shampooing. because what you're doing, you're drying out the scalp. And when you dry out the scalp, the chances are you are increasing the possibility of dandruff. Okay?
So Monica's asking, she loves her gray hair, but it's hard to manage. She doesn't want to color it. She's just saying it appears harder to manage.
You know what, Monica? Mix your moisturizing conditioner and your oud oil together.
Ooh.
And put it on the hair as a treatment and see what happens. Put it on as a treatment. Go under a dryer. Don't just put it on and not go on a heated dryer for about 10 minutes, a preheated dryer. And rinse, towel dry, put your styling cream on. I don't know how you style it naturally or you do some other kind of styling, but go from there to there.
Doris, I have a quick question. I just purchased an Afro steam cap to kind of, because it's really hard to get moisture inside of your locks. I can take the shower, I can do a steam, I can do all types of things. But what do you think about that? It's a big one. I can, when I put my hair up, when I'm washing, I can wrap it in a shower cap, I guess, and then put the steam cap over. What are your thoughts on those?
That's great. Make sure you put some your oud oil and a little mix it with your cream and put it in a spray bottle. Put some water with it because you want
Right, that's what you had told me to do that. I do that.
Yeah. And put your cap on because that is a good way to hydrate. Good way to put moisture in. Very good.
Excellent. Great.
Well, we'll kind of have samples of the SOS product line to get more people to try the hairline.
No. Dr. Rita, that's your question, but I would say no, not now. I don't think we will have it right now because it's reasonably priced.
Mm-hmm.
And I find with samples, people don't really use them. They put them on the shelf, they put them in the drawer. So if you invest, if they, like they say, have skin in the game, you may use it and get the results that we're getting. So we want to go to larger sizes, but we can't go to larger sizes right now because we got to get rid of the 8-ounce bottles.
Right.
But the back bar for a stylist is at least 16 ounces or more. But we want, and you know what, stylists, if you're the ones that are on the line, and I'm recovering from COVID too, you guys. But if you're on the line, take one or two of your clients that is experiencing any type of hair loss excessively, like telogen and fluvium, and then you use the product only on their hair. See, we don't want to mix lines because you don't know what's working for you. So just use the SOS system and chart their journey. That's why Midland out of Florida came aboard, because my cousin got the system and took it in there to her. And she was using it on her, and then she's seen the results. She was happy about the results, and now she's on board as a crown jewel, right, Kathy? Kathy must be off a little bit. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm here.
Okay, Midland came on as a crown jewel. She didn't just start at the bottom, she went straight to the top.
She said that's exactly what she wanted to take her business. So
yes,
that's exactly what she wanted to do.
So that's what we need to do. And if you're on the line and you're not a hairstylist, you take it to your hairstylist. Take the product in, and just use that product with Connor, SOS.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah, that's what you have to do, because other than that, you won't know. I go into salons and go to their back bar. They have every product in the nation back there. And I said, this is a choir, you guys. You don't know who's singing.
Choir.
It's an open choir, or it's a beauty supply house with half a bottle of product.
That's right.
So we want to get focused in 2022.
Any other questions? I think that's it, ladies.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Kathy and Doris, and all of our business partners. Thank you so much. Great. Look forward to seeing all of you next Monday at 2:30.
Okay.
One person, one guest extra. We double our attendance.
Yes. Wonderful.
You got to invite more than 10 to get one.
That's right. Thank you, Monica. And gray. Oh my gosh. What about the gray tip?
Yes, you guys do that. That's $1 million tip today.
Have a great day.
Okay, make it a great one. See you tonight.
Yes, tonight. Zoom in with Wakana at 6, 8, and 9.
Yes, corporate.
That's right.